Well, hi. It's great to be here. Welcome. I thought I would just give you some of my kind of vague and rather disorganized thoughts on what it is to be an entrepreneur. I class myself as sort of an accidental entrepreneur. I never intended to become an entrepreneur, but I'm now on my 6th startup, so I guess I probably count by now. I just want to talk a little bit about what it's like to start a company and why I think this is an amazing thing. First of all, I will say it is very hard. It is one of the hardest things you will ever do. I would rate it as probably the second best thing that you will ever do. If you want to know what the first best thing is, I have 3-year-old twin daughters, and let me tell you, that's even better than starting a company. Your job as somebody starting a company is to discover what it is that your users want. A lot of people go into starting a company thinking, my job is to have a vision, to be the person who kind of sets out this grand scheme and everyone will come flooding to it. That's not what it's about at all. Your job is to assemble a team of smart people, solve some hard problems, and get yourself into the position where your users will tell you what it is that is successful. I can guarantee you, when you start out, you have no idea of the thing that will be successful. So the faster that you can get product in front of users, you can get feedback from your users, the more quickly you will be able to adjust and find the thing that works. Failure, I think, is incredibly important. This notion of success is a series of failures, which hopefully eventually you learn from and eventually you will find the thing that is successful, is at the heart of all great entrepreneurial people. You have to be prepared to fail. You have to be able to pick yourself up when you do fail and start again and keep going. Innovation is all about assembling a team of smart people. The smartest thing that you can do as an entrepreneur is hire people who are better than you at what they do and listen to them and guide them and build a great product. And really what you're doing as an entrepreneur is you are imagining what the future is like and then creating it. So have that. It's interesting. There's this aspect of both. You need to discover what your users want, and there's also an aspect of you're creating the future. You need to find the balance between those two propositions, and they seem contradictory, and they are. But you need to find your way through that. This is a picture, by the way, of a gentleman jumping out of an aeroplane without a parachute. Being an entrepreneur is a bit like that. You have to be prepared to leap out of the aircraft even though you don't have a parachute. What you don't see in this picture is that he's actually surrounded by people who do have parachutes, who in about 25 seconds' time, I've actually seen this video, will converge on him, grab hold of him, and guide him safely to the ground. So entrepreneurship is about risk. You need to be able to take risks, but you need to be able to take mitigated risks. You need to be in an environment where if you fail, there are people around you who will help you pick yourself up and move on to the next great thing. Find that environment. Find somewhere like Silicon Valley, like New York, like London, where there are the support services and the people around you who will help you find your way through to what you want to create. Build the company that you want to work at. So this is your great opportunity to build an organization that will last and that will be something that you can be proud of. You build the place that you would like to work at. You have to be irrationally optimistic. All great entrepreneurs, from Steve Jobs on, are people who are irrationally optimistic about the world. They believe that they can change the world. No rational human being will actually go out and say, I'm going to create the next great industry. I'm going to create the product that millions of people will use. But you can. And if you believe in yourself and if you believe in your team, you'll actually achieve that. You need to be passionate. You need to have that. You need to be building something that you believe in so much that you will force it to happen. You will force it to become true in the world that this product exists. And one thing that I've learned is think global from day one. The great businesses are the ones that span the globe. So you need to be building that and have the mindset of building that from the very first day that you start building your company. So a little bit of practical advice. Focus on your product. It's your product that will represent you in the world and that will change the world. So figure out what your product is as quickly as you can. Ignore the things you can't control. Don't worry about your competitors. Don't worry about other people. Focus on what you can actually change, because that's the only leverage you have. The great leaders in the world will make you achieve things that you don't believe were possible. And this is something I learned working with Steve Jobs, is he will make you build things that you did not believe you were capable of building. And that's what the great leaders do, is bring out the absolute best in their people. So you need to aspire to be that person. Failure is inevitable. It's going to happen. You will fail multiple times. Just find the way to drive through that, and that's how you will get to success. And be brave. Be brave. The greatest common denominator of all great entrepreneurs is that they are people who are brave, who are prepared to take risks, who are prepared to do things that everyone else tells them is stupid, impossible, and nevertheless they have the courage to go ahead and do those things. So I want to end with why I think London is right now probably the best place on the planet to be building an innovative entrepreneurial business. There's this huge sense of entrepreneurship, and Gerald mentioned this, that's happening right here in London right now. The Silicon Roundabout is a great place to be building a high-tech company. London is a global capital. We have a tremendously diverse workforce, and that's a huge benefit. You get people from all around the world with truly global and international perspectives, and having those people in your workforce gives you a huge advantage. One of the disadvantages of Silicon Valley is that it's a real monoculture. It's a place where everybody is the same. Everyone is under 30. Everyone has the same perspective. They're all entrepreneurs, and in some ways that's good, but in some ways it's also, your customers are not like that. Your customers are the people you meet out on the streets of London every day, and being close to your customers gives you a much better chance of building something that they will want and love. And the other great thing I think about Silicon Roundabout is that most of the people building companies here are first-time entrepreneurs. So there's this tremendous sense of collaboration. Everyone works together in order to make everyone better at building companies. And that's a tremendously exciting time. Silicon Roundabout, I think, is a great example of this, where we, as the startup community, decided that in order to attract people away from large organizations like certain financial institutions we won't mention, that in order to find those people, we needed to come together as a group, and together we could have a big enough presence. And now Silicon Roundabout happens every 6 months. We have hundreds of startups and thousands of people at every event coming, finding jobs in startups in the UK. And that sense of together we can do this is a great benefit. So let me leave you with this thought. Be brave, be prepared to take risks, be prepared to fail, and do it here in London. Thank you.